Welcome to God's Way, YTVY. I'm Adolphina Shephard, and this is my co-host, Thomas Knights Templar.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our show.
Well, the topic of our show tonight is we do not conform to the evils in this world. And we're going to be giving you some explanations and some fabulous tips and solutions. So, shall I start?
You start.
Okay.
Women first.
That's right. So.
What do you mean that's right?
That's the way it is.
Okay, all right, go ahead, go.
All right.
Don't expect me to hold that door open for you when we leave. Go ahead.
I'll listen to you. Okay. The first thing that I want you to understand is it's so important that every morning and evening that you declare you're divine and sovereign 3 times and that you are free. And after you've done that, I want you to say, we do not consent to any harm on any level, physical, emotional, spiritual, or emotional, okay? Because while we sleep, things happen, and while we're awake, things happen, and people wonder why they're so unhappy and scared and so forth. Well, it's because, and I'm not saying this to scare you, but you can't fix a problem if you don't know about it. But there are, right? Isn't that true?
Absolutely.
You see, there are beings off planet and on planet who think they own humans as a herd of cattle to enslave, eat, steal their energy, their life force, and do whatever it is they want.
Experiment on you with the permission of your own government.
Right. Now,
and kidnap you and disappearance and all of this stuff. You think that that's just happenstance? Yeah, guess again.
No, this is all very planned out. And now we are in the age of evolution and the ascension process. Mankind is maturing. And this is what all this hullabaloo is about, to stop that from happening. Okay? So you have to stand up for your rights as a divine child of God that you are, because God created all of us. And there are some, unfortunately, who fell away. But that's to their own demise. Don't let it be yours.
You must be a spiritual patriot. That's what you need to be, a spiritual patriot. Not to conform to that which is wrong, immoral. Not to conform to those that would see justice, law and order become chaos and debauchery and be glorified by a media that won't even cover it. All right? They won't even cover it. And those who are perpetrating this. All right, so you need to have that mantra that we will not conform, all right, and we will not consent, because this stands against your divine sovereignty as a child of God.
And when you declare you're divine and sovereign, you're saying, hey, I'm divine and sovereign. You can't touch me.
Actually,
okay?
You put the brakes on them.
Yeah, you can't touch me. And let me tell you something. All day, I felt like I was being stopped from coming on the show to say these things. That's how important it is, okay?
I took the keys to her car. She couldn't get it.
He's a good one for jokes, but you get my point. So believe me, this is so very important. And the next step is that you have got to learn to clear yourself. Because there are incarnate beings who maybe they were alcoholics or drug addicts, or they were evil, or they came right back into life. They didn't go to heaven or to God or whatever, and so they can get magnetized to you, or they can intentionally.
Well, they'll try to attach to your energy. All right, they cannot attach to ours because we are sovereign. We know it. Okay, and we repel them, and that's it.
Well,
they won't even dare to come there. It'll be instantaneously.
Yeah,
dissolved.
because we have the sacred fire, and that burns them up like frying bacon. Okay, this is what you want. Okay.
BLT. Ooh.
Well, yeah. Well, I
didn't
like
eat
bacon.
tonight. Really. Come on, you had to mention bacon.
Not that I eat it that often, but I do like bacon.
Right.
But so the bacon and eggs. Now you got me thinking about it. But anyway, so it's so important that you learn how to do these things. Now, there are many of you who are listening and watching to this who say, how in the heck do we do that? Well, there's many ways, okay, and I've learned them over the years, but one of the most important ones is you can simply speak them out of existence and say, thy will be done, God, and we're divine and sovereign as it is, right? That's one way. That's for people who are very firm in their sovereignty. The divine
That was close.
sovereignty.
That was
Yeah,
close.
see?
You almost got it.
Ooh, yeah.
Almost got it.
So anyway, and so, if you're a healer, you probably know how to scan and find these obstacles or things not for your highest good and remove them. Okay, but there are other ways. You can first of all, if you don't know anything, you can simply call on God, Jesus, and especially a guardian angel. You can give them permission to protect you against any of these things. And if you feel anything, you're in a good mood, and then suddenly you're in a bad mood.
That's
Something
right.
probably just landed on you. Okay.
You can surrender your free will to your guardian angels. That's the way they can communicate with you and guide you. They are God's emissary. Everyone has 1, 2, 10. It depends on what you need, okay? And there is an angel for every... I hate these stupid cameras doing this back and forth. Let's leave it on the one, okay? There's an angel for every single need that you can possibly have, think of, or ever come across.
Yeah.
There's an angel who handles that. And there's an archangel that guides that and protects that. So why wouldn't you do this? All right, you've been beat down over the years with religious dogma, okay? And that's what that is, dogma, all right? Because the last thing that they want you to do is have your own personal relationship with God, knowing that you are God. And it says it in their Bible, but they never teach it. Never teach it, because that would take the flock and spread it out. And people go their own way. Why do they do that? Control. It's control, all right? Spread your wings and fly. Be the angel on earth that you were meant to be, God's son or daughter. Make up your mind. If you think that only we're speaking words and these words don't have any power or strength, you are very mistaken. Because in the Bible it says, by your word you create. And by your word you will live or die. Wake up. All right? You've been handed a bunch of malarkey. And the media is pounding it into your heads, all right? They particularly pick on the elderly, all right? Why? Because they're the ones that fear the most. Or they're going to cut off my Social Security. Or they're going to do this. Or they're going to put me here. Or they're going to anesthetize me. Or they're going to do this. Stop that. Call on your divine sovereignty. Know that you're a divine being of God. You're his child. You're nothing less. And no matter what they try to make you think you are, if it has to do with your 5 senses, then you're looking for God in the wrong places. All right? 5 senses are not divine. They are not heavenly. Yes,
Well, actually, it says in the Bible, 666 is the number of the beast, and the beast is man. So we're born, and we have to rise above that and learn who we truly are to overcome. And that's the evolution of mankind.
That's true.
Okay? And here's the thing that really is sad, you see, because religion is man-made. Spirituality is a one-on-one relationship with God. And this is where we need to get to, because, the sad part about it is, trust me when I tell you, the religions know this, but they intentionally put a priest in front of you.
That's right.
So you never get that connection. And that is so wrong. That
Why don't you
is
look
so
at
wrong.
Why don't you look at the next time you go to services, whether you're Jewish, you go to temple, whether you're a Muslim, you go to a mosque, right? Wherever you go, watch all the ritualistic things. God is genuine. He doesn't need rituals. He doesn't need anybody to give him accolades that are ritualistic. All right? You go to church, stand up, sit down, kneel, do this, do that, sit. But I feel like you're being thrown treats, like you're training a dog.
Tommy.
Well, that's what it's like.
I get it. I do
I
agree.
call it church calisthenics, And it's ridiculous. It really is. Time to stop now. All right? Time to stop this nonsense now. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. They're dwindling. They're dwindling. People are staying away. They're not really going. Some go, the ones that are just too focused and too narrow-minded to anything else. Okay?
See, and when the truth comes out,
Whoa,
some people are going to be so shocked
That's
that
right.
they probably won't even go forward
Remember,
because
yeah.
they will not be able to accept the truth.
Not only will they not be able to go to accept the truth, but they'll be so convicted from their blindness. You know, if thy eye offends you, pluck it out. All right? What is wrong that you cannot see you've been led down a path that's going to get you X amount, and that's it. All right?
Well,
X
that's so
amount.
that they can recycle again.
That's right,
And
that's
they can be
right.
the cattle of,
All right.
of food.
Join the family. Welcome to the family of this or that, whatever religion you are. You know what I mean? You're being welcomed. Yeah, you're being welcomed because you're going to be fleeced.
Well, that's why the Catholic Church is the richest institution in the world.
Yeah, right.
And there's so many homeless people, and they're so rich. Why aren't they, helping
The man with the
poor?
pointy hat and the dress, he's got a guards and he's got a wall around his house.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he's got a wall around his house.
Yeah,
but
he has
they
the
will
brass wants to say anything about the wall down south. All right,
that the truth?
please.
Well, there's another very important point that I want to make, and that is it's so important that you learn to shield yourself. You could just ask your angels to put up the 12th dimensional shield, because that's our universe. And I like to say for the next 10 days, but it gets weaker every day, so you want to do it every day.
You want to reinforce it. You want to make a mantra that you're not going to stand and conform to the iniquities of this world. You want to make that a mantra, because when you say it, okay, and you say it with an I am conviction behind it, I am sick and tired of this, and I am not going to stand for the conformities of this, or conform to any of the iniquities of this world. You got to put the I am in front of it. That's your God. That's God's name. And if you say I am with anything less than that, then you're actually taking the Lord's name in vain. Okay?
So, yeah, it's so important to shield. Now, you can also surround yourself with the infinite love of God and so forth. But you want to do this morning and night. And for those who are experienced healers, I don't know if you're doing it already, but you might want to call down the pillar of light every night. Ever since I was a child, I intuitively did that. And that's so important, because while you're sleeping, you're not conscious so much to protect yourself. So you need to have this light around you to protect you at different. Now, this is not fear-based. These are defense mechanisms to keep you well, okay? And so that you can rise and become who you are. Because trust me when I tell you, Jesus was a warrior, despite the way he put it forth, because that was his role. But he was a warrior. So was his mother. You never see Mother Mary without seeing her standing on a picture of a snake or a serpent or something, right? Right?
That's true.
And so, you got to think of these things. So here we go. Divine and sovereign. We do 3 times. We are free. We do not consent to any harm on any level, in any time and space, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical. And then you want to shield for the next 10 days, and you do this every day, every day. And you give your angels, your guardian angel, permission to help you and protect you against any harm. And you know what? There's been a couple of times I've been in real trouble that I actually was astral traveling, and I remember it like it was yesterday, where when all I had to do was scream, Jesus! And that entity, whatever it was that was after me, gone. So you can also do that.
That's calling your security.
Yeah, you call on your security. You work with your team.
You know what I do. I have about 20 archangels around me at all times. I call them in every single day, every night. All right? I have protection around me all the time and around my family. And because I am where I am and who I am, okay, they are sovereign grace, all of them. All right? Because they're my family members. The point I'm saying to you is, why wouldn't you at least try something? I mean, how many of you have been praying for this, praying for someone's health, praying for all these things, and nothing happens? All right, I couldn't use the other word, we're on TV. But nothing happens. Why? Because it's not heard. I'm telling you now, there's a part in the Bible that says, Jesus says it, he goes, my Father will say he does not know you.
Right, you got to form that personal relationship.
You better wake your mind up.
Yeah.
Because if you think that the Bible is a Bible of fables, or it's a Bible of stories handed down, some of the Bible was written hundreds of years, some of the stories, hundreds of years after Jesus' time. You know what I mean? So how could you possibly, it is a metaphysical guidebook, is what it is. Mm-hmm. But you need to be metaphysical to know it. Okay? And really decipher what it says. Jesus says it many times in the book. Didn't I tell you all, to his disciples, didn't I tell you all, you are all God's? And far greater things that I have done, you shall do. Why is he telling them that? Because he taught them metaphysical. He taught them how to heal people by energy, by thought, by soul, by prayer,
by intention,
by the power of the Holy Spirit. Mm-hmm. Okay? Why do you not get that in the church?
They don't teach this to you.
Why do you not get it in the shul? You don't get it.
Well, it's because here's the puppet masters over the church leaders controlling the people. That's why they don't get it. So we hope that we're kind of waking you up to and giving you the tools you need to move forward. Move forward. Now, effective prayer, like Tommy says, you know why you're always praying for something. Okay, there's a right way to pray and a wrong way. Now, that sounds crazy, right? However, effective prayer is when you take control of your divine sovereignty and then you decree it. It's a decree, okay? It's not...
You're going to claim it.
Yeah. It's not, oh, please, God, help me, help me, help me. It's, it's more like,
Most of you people out there, you do a lot of harm to yourself because you claim the worst things in life. If I didn't have bad luck, I'd have no luck. And you make it your mantra. You're claiming it. Your subconscious mind is a power pack. It delivers whatever you want. It doesn't know bad from good, and it doesn't know certain words from others. All it hears is that I want more of this. So if you're coming up with something terrible, it's going to give you more of the same. Okay? And if you keep on claiming it, you own it, brother. You own it.
I have a friend who she was sick and something snapped, and every time I talk to her now, I say, how you doing? She goes, oh, not good today.
Because she cannot wait to say that because that's her mantra.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That's her badge in life.
So here's
that's
the
a badge
thing.
in life.
She's creating it. Don't
that's
you
right.
see?
That's right.
When you have, okay, everybody has the seed of God within, the seed of the I am. The key to it is you have to grow in spirituality and unveil that layer by layer by layer until you are actually one with the Godhead, okay? And when that happens, you have true power. You have true power.
That's right. You do have true power. By your words, you create.
Yeah.
It's in the Bible. In the beginning, there was the Word.
Yeah.
And a few pages later, the Word became flesh and dwelt amongst us. What do you think that was? What was once imagined has now come to fruition. God is your imagination. He is your imagination.
Your consciousness.
And whatever your imagination is the God says. All right? What's an imagination? Image. What's the image? The image of God. Okay? Wake up. You're being duped.
Well, they don't know any of this stuff, so
they don't know this stuff because it's not taught.
I know, so
it's
we're
not
teaching
taught.
it, so
we're
don't
teaching
be mad
it.
at
I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at them. Sometimes I get mad at the blinders that because they sit there and they watch that news, and it's full of lies.
I know it is.
Absolutely, the newscasters, they all hate people. They want to see divisions between the races, divisions between the religions. They want to see that because they feed on that. And you play right into it because you watch that stupid thing. Okay? Why don't you try shutting off the TV for a month and not watch any news? See what your life turns into. Guess what? Nobody dies. None of these 100 million people getting infected in India from COVID. All right? Well, they're right next to China. Where do you think it came from? Boston? It came from China. Okay? What's the matter with you people?
Well, see, this is something you have to understand. The beings off planet and on planet, they actually eat energy. And they can eat food, too, but they actually eat energy. And the energy of fear is
strong.
what they eat. Okay, and that is why they're constantly puppeteering the politicians and those in charge so that they create the fear so that they have the food. Because see, they've been cut off from God's divine free source of energy because they know they turned away from God and they became terrible.
They are the
became evil.
family of the fallen angels. That's who they are. They are the family and the descendants of the fallen angels. Okay? That's who they are. All right? When God wiped out the world, when he had Noah here, okay? And there was a race of giants. Why? Because they came down against God's rule and they had sexual relationships with earth women, okay? And they made a race of giants. And they were not supposed to be here on this world. This world was for mankind, all right? So God, what did he do? He gave them a real big flood, a giant bubble bath, and they were gone, all right? But those fallen angels, okay, the ones that started all of this, were given sovereignty over the earth for 10,000 years. That time is up. Whose team you want to play on? Whose team you want to be on? You better ask yourself that.
You know, you better ask yourself, whose team are you on? And if you're on the wrong team, ask for forgiveness and change your ways, because it can only lead to tragedy if you're on the wrong team. Okay, now in this process that we've been in all these many years with reincarnating and so forth, it's because we didn't learn these truths, and now we are moving above that. In fact, I posted something on Facebook about how God will destroy all of his enemies, and the last enemy he destroys will be death. Which means that
You'll
once
live.
we ascend, we live. You know, I mean, immortality we're talking, and so in the love and light, you know, of God, and so you got to come to these understandings because no one else is going to be teaching you this stuff. Okay, so we hope you're really paying good attention and do not you know, shut your ears and eyes to this because this is truth.
We are trying to make you aware every time we do this show. We make you aware that there is something more than what you've learned. And we're trying to make you aware that you have been duped over the years. Our children are the target of these monsters. Okay, they are the target of it. Look at the curriculum in school. They don't even teach American history anymore. How could you go forth and know things about the Constitution? These kids that were out in the street doing all this stuff, they don't know jack about it. They don't know who Patrick Henry is. They don't know who Paul Revere is. They don't know anything about the history. They don't know anything about the Civil War. They don't even know what party started the Civil War. Okay? And still, to this day, enslaves. They don't even know that. Okay, why? It's not taught in college. All right? They call it liberal arts for a reason. It's shoved down your throat, malarkey. All right? I don't need no 60s retread professor, okay, poisoning the minds of my kids and my family. Let the family choose the curriculum for their child. Let the family have a button on the TV that when all this stuff, this subversive stuff comes on TV, these commercials, okay, when Hollywood comes out and the music industry comes out and they're telling you to get a shot that's not proven, and don't let anybody tell you the science proves it. Okay? Whose scientists are they? Okay? Whose scientists are they?
Oh, yeah, there's...
How come Europe walked away from this crap?
Yeah.
Why? Why? Because there's stuff in it don't belong in there. We don't have no cures. We never had a cure for anything. We mask the symptom. You got a pain in your back, they give you something to stop the pain in your back. You got a pain in your knee, they give you something to stop the pain in your knee. You got cancer, they give you chemo. What is chemo? Radiation. Okay, what does that do? What happened to the people in Nagasaki and Hiroshima? They're still sick from that. Almost did it. Okay, you need to break free of the subversiveness that comes through this tube on your news channels. When I walk into people's houses and they have the worst of the worst news channels on, and that's all of them, whichever side of the fence you're on, all of them, they get it from one source.
That's right.
And they throw their spin on it, depending on what side of the aisle you're on. They don't work for you. You gave them a temporary job, but you keep these people in the business for 50 years? Are you nuts? They're so out of touch.
Well, they go in and they all come out millionaires, and
Right away.
yeah, because they're taking bribes.
Not only taking bribes, they're allowed to get insider trading on Wall Street. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know
It's
that.
legal for them, but not for you.
Oh, you got to be kidding me! Now you see what I mean? What hypocrites, right? What
Hypocrites. Oh my God. And you keep on voting for them? Because they have name recognition? What did they do for you? Change the sidewalk in front of your house? Once every 6, 7 years? Or pave the street? Wow, that's a big event, boy, paving the street. You just get so much. Your tax dollars at work. All right? How foolish we are as a society to think that they have our best interests. They do not.
They do not, no. And I mean, think about this. Beginning Senate seat, $175,000 a year for a part-time job. They are not there full-time, number one, okay? And yet, here, for seniors that have paid their entire lives into Social Security, they want to give a 3% raise or a 1% raise, cost of living. Oh, come on, give me a break, you know? And so then when they pass these bills, they pass themselves new raises. They get their salary for life.
They don't see the people.
You know, they get
people
salary for life.
They don't see the hypocrisy that comes through the news, all right? That comes through parties, both parties, the hypocrisy. You need to see that. When somebody says to you, they had a live mic on the Speaker of the House, okay? And she says, well, we just make up something, and they run with it. The media runs with it. And these people give them a pass. They get a pass. Hunter Biden, guilty as anything. All the evidence against them. Disappeared. Okay? Just went, psh. Media won't cover it. Media won't cover anything that makes them look bad. None of them. Okay? Hypocrites.
I understand that Trump is coming out with his own media. I'd like to see that.
So would I.
I would like to see that, and hopefully it wouldn't be biased. But I want to talk to you more about effective prayer, okay? We need to I actually did it. I drew up a whole list of things we as the human race do not consent to, and I did that years ago. I've got to find that. Like, for instance, do we consent to chemtrails? No, we do not consent. Do we consent to nanotechnology in our water and poisons in our food? No, we do not consent, you see? Okay, but effective prayer that's an effective prayer. We do not consent, and so it is. We do not consent, and so it is.
These so-called billionaires that, were paying all these kids to go crazy in the street and do everything like that, all right? They bought a lot of property outside of major cities, especially cities that were not on their side. And you know what the design is there? To cut off the water supply to the city and hold them in ransom.
Oh, my God.
And that's going to happen.
Let's not speak that into existence.
That's what they want to do.
They want to do. We speak that out of existence. And we say that does not happen,
that
and so it is.
That does not happen. It does not exist.
You see, this is effective prayer. This is effective prayer. If you have a pain in your back, you say, oh, I speak that pain in my back out of existence, and I am well. I am well. I am healed. And so it is.
The key to healing, whether you heal yourself or you heal someone else, don't go by this because there's a problem with a nerve, and that is another story. But I keep that under control, all right? And I have other people that work on me all the time and keep it under control. But the things I would tell you is that if you calling your God self, because you are God within. If you're looking for God outside of you, God is omnipresent. He is outside of you. But if you're looking for a God outside of you, you're looking in the wrong place. God's here. He's you. He is you. Learn it, know it, and believe it. He is you. You want things to change in your life? Go with that mantra. You are God. You are God's sovereign grace, made in His image. He lives in all of us. We are like a piece of the conglomerate of the mainframe computer. We are a pixel. We all are.
And God's the computer.
That's right.
Now,
and we are all related.
Well,
This doesn't mean jack.
we don't want to claim oneness with the AI or the evil
No,
ones.
we're not going to claim with
No.
AI. AI is not human.
That's right. It's not. Now, the Kabbalah point of view is it's said like this: the great I am, and then the little I am, because we all get a piece of it, and we don't have the power of the all, but we can accumulate power by building first. Clearing and getting rid of all the icky stuff in our bodies and spiritual bodies, emotional, mental bodies, then repairing it and then building it, and at the same time marrying yourself with your male females so you are one, and then you become one with
Explain
God.
that, because they're not going to get that.
Okay, well.
There's a male-female energy in the God force.
Mm-hmm. And in us.
And in us, in all of us. All right? There's a male-female aspect to everything. And you need to understand that. When you're a man and you have a soft side and a heart for animals, women, whatever it is, children, okay? That's genuine, not like these animals from that island, okay? That need to be found out and hung by the neck for what they've done, their crimes against humanity. All right? You are both energies.
Right, just like, and I mean, it's proven by science. Look, we have, I believe we have 25 chromosomes. 12 are male, 12 are female. One determines if you're male or female, if you're going to turn into a little boy in the womb.
Majority rules, in other words, with your genes.
Yeah, so, that's how you become a male or female. That is in the physical. Mm-hmm. But that's proof that we have the male and the female inside, you see.
Does anything shock you anymore? I heard something, they want to call Mother's Day Indigenous Persons Day. Wait, are you nuts? To let them do that? They don't want you to tell your children if they're male or female until they're 5 years old?
That's insane. That's insane.
Really? What is wrong with you people to even let them do this?
See, they want to take away the honor of the mother of the family. Come on. Why would they change it to the indigenous people? I don't get that. What? For what purpose?
Because they're out of their minds.
Well, yeah,
This
obviously.
is the most... In the Bible, in the end times, in Revelations, it says, when good is evil and evil is good, you're in the end times. Guess what? We are here. We have slid into home plate. We are here, okay? Now it's your choice. You get to choose eternal life or eternal damnation. You get to choose.
That's the ascension process.
Mm-hmm.
The
better wake up and smell the coffee.
Ascension process. You see, that's what that means. We're just using modern age terms, okay? The ascension process is as mankind goes into eternal life with the Godhead, and so forth, okay? So, and then, like you say, eternal eternal damnation, that they would be wiped out.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
and the other ones are going to be they're going to be in a level where they're all like them, and they're going to be tortured for eternity.
Because they'll torture each other, for
That's
starters.
what they're going to do.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. Let's think about this. Do you remember when every September when we do the clearing for the 9/11 crossing over people, and always millions of spirits cross over at the same time? They take advantage of that. And remember how a lot of the ones that were evil went to elementals? So they'll probably be recycled into, some of them might, if they're truly evil, may very well be recycled into
they're evil
the
and
elements.
they choose to cross, when we give them the opportunity, we open up that portal for them to go, then they are repentant.
Yeah, then they're positively polarized. So they can grow their light and say, I'm going home to God, and please forgive me. Or that if they're negative, then the sacred fire will just
consume
them, okay? Like that sizzling bacon we were talking about.
I'm hungry. You have to keep on talking about the damn bacon? Come on.
I haven't had a BLT in so long, Tommy, I don't remember.
It's the craziest thing, because now I'm desiring one.
Me too. I would love it. But you know what? I don't even think I have any bread.
Okay.
But, right. Anyway, so you get our point. So let's go through a few more examples of effective prayer. Okay, let's say that you're worried about your son or daughter. Okay, you might say, instead of going, oh, I'm so worried, I'm sitting up all night, what is better to say is, my son or my daughter is always safe and divinely protected. You understand?
You put the protection around them. You put the protection of your God self around them. I do this all the time.
And they're angels.
You know, and they're angels too. You know, when I go do my evening energetic traveling, doing healings for people and going and doing these things, I leave my body and I go do what I got to do.
We all do it.
And sometimes while I'm out there,
yeah,
I wind up in battle with negative forces. And I come back with aches and pains and this, that, the other. But I recognize that in the morning and I get rid of it. Why? Because I just tell him, I'm sovereign grace. And I don't have any of this. This doesn't belong to me. And it's gone. Boom. No more pain. Gone. That quick. Recognize who you are, sons and daughters of God. Okay? When Jesus was sleeping on a little boat, and the disciples were in the boat, and they were scared to death because it started to storm, and they thought they were all going to drown. All right? They woke up Jesus, and they told him, surely we're going to die. And the first thing that Jesus said to him, he didn't say to him, oh, what's going on? He turned around and said to him, ye of little faith. And all of you had little faith because you believe everything that comes from the news media. They will take your faith away from you. Okay? They are trying to lessen God in the life.
That's right. That's the truth.
They're trying to lessen the effectiveness of God in the life. Out of your school, out of your buildings, out of your constitution, out of everything they're trying to do. And you know what? If you let them do that, you're as evil as they are. Don't do that.
This is where you say we do not consent. Yeah, we do not consent. And that's a good way of putting it, Tommy. You draw the line in the sand. You know, this is the thing that I don't think people realize. You know, like for instance, okay, I called a hotel. I wanted to go down the shore for the day and spend the night and just enjoy the sea weather. And so I called, and it was $659 a night. And I have stayed at this hotel and in the summer, and it cost me like $2 something. And so here you have this hotel, okay, who after people have been through this tragedy this past year and a half of all this stuff everybody's been through, and here they're going to rape people and gouge people.
It's time to profit. Everybody else is doing it. Look at your gasoline.
Yeah, but it's wrong.
It's over $1.50 more a gallon.
It's wrong, and they all got loans from the government to stay alive, and they
pay,
don't have to
pay their employees,
and they don't have to pay it back. So I mean, here they are. I mean, that is morally wrong. No compassion, ripping people off. It's like, you know, it's wrong.
I got 1 week down where you're talking about.
Yeah.
1 week in August. $7,000.
Oh my God, Tommy!
$7,000.
Oh my God!
And if it wasn't for my son's wedding, okay, I would tell him take that $7 and shove it.
Yeah, because you know what I mean. See, this is wrong. It's just so wrong.
$7,000.
Yeah.
I could buy a good used truck.
Right. Or do a major repair to the house or whatever.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous. Is that everybody has jacked their prices. They all jacked their prices. No reason. But look at lumber. A sheet of plywood that was maybe $13, $18, $12, whatever it was. It's now $80. A sheet of wood, $80.
Oh, come on.
Adds $100,000 easy to any purchase of a home.
Why? And I mean, is there a financial, economic reason that we don't know of that they're doing this, or is it sheer greed, which is wrong?
They are deliberately creating shortages. Deliberately.
I believe that.
They are deliberately creating shortages. They created a new shortage.
What's that?
Chlorine. Okay? Try to get chlorine for your pool. You know what that's for?
Yeah.
Because everybody in America nearly has a pool. Okay? So if you take the chlorine from them, they're going to flip out. And they're going to pay dearly for it. Guess what? You'll pay it because your kids go, Mommy, Daddy, I want to go in the pool. I want to go in the pool.
Oh, God.
The pool is dirty. I can't go in. You'll pay anything to get them to stop doing that. And that's what happens. Every single thing, they're jacking the prices up. You see the Verrazano? A former representative here, all right, pushed for the two-way toll. Guess what? We're only supposed to pay here in Staten Island $6 round trip. Now we pay 6 in, 6 out. Oh, he fixed it for Staten Islanders, all right? Yet, nobody says a word.
See,
where's the protest?
Here's the point. I mean, this is ridiculous, and we've got to stand up and stop this, because they're just literally taken advantage. There used to be laws against price gouging. There used to be laws, and there still are still in effect, I'm sure. Remember when they broke up all the Baby Bells because they had a monopoly? Well, what about this monopoly that's going on with Amazon and all these other biggies?
Amazon is an absolute monopoly. Even though there are other entities like UPS and Federal Express, Amazon has surpassed them.
Yeah, because they created this with the online
because
shopping.
they created this with the help of their cronies in government.
Right. Oh, yeah.
All right? They surpassed
Yeah,
them.
don't go out and shop. It's dangerous. Wear your mask, you know, and blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, now there's representatives who have come together and are passing bills that say fire Fauci. He's not even a real doctor. I mean, he's a scientist, but he's not a doctor, you know.
He ain't no kind of scientist. And let me tell you something. I'm Italian. I don't claim that little screwball. All right? I'm ashamed that he's Italian. I'm ashamed that he's from Brooklyn. All right? He don't represent us.
No.
He represents them.
Yeah, he represents the bad guys, let's say, for lack of a better word. And, I mean, come on, he oversaw the money and invested in the company that leaked the virus and denied it. And then, of course, he's heavily invested in that company, okay? So who's profited?
That technology wasn't supposed to go to China. That technology was supposed to be aborted here in the United States. Obama stopped it. So what did Fauci do? Took it there. All right? And continued to work.
Because this is the plan, you see, of the New World Order.
That's right.
And this is what we do not conform to this evil. Okay? We do not conform to this evil. We do not consent to this evil.
If you conform to it, if you just turn a blind eye to it, then you are the problem. You are the problem. Because you refuse to see what's right in front of your face, because believing that changes the complexion of your thoughts. Maybe there is something to this. All right? How come all these supposed conspirators and everything is proven true? Okay? So how can it be a conspiracy?
Well, conspiracy theorists...
News don't cover it once it's proven. Won't cover it at all. That should tell you immediately how biased they are. All right? They sold their souls.
Don't sell yours.
Don't sell yours is right.
And you know what a conspiracy theory is? It's a derogatory term for critical thinkers. Okay, people who can see and think on their own without somebody else telling them what to do through the media. Okay, that's what a conspiracy theorist is. They do some research, they give some thought to it, they talk amongst other people who are in the know, and they just don't buy the party line until it makes sense to them. And to me, none of this makes sense, because chaos is dark. Chaos is the darkness, okay? When things are going nice and smooth, everything's kosher, it's usually the light.
One of your former presidents said that.
What?
That when you have chaos, you have complete control. And they do.
Oh, yeah?
They created the chaos.
Yeah, they created the chaos.
They blamed every single thing. But yet, the economy was booming. People were spending. People were happy. People were employed. Now you can't even get these people who are making more money on unemployment to go back to work.
I know, the trash is behind
Have
because of that.
Have you been to the restaurants? Have you been to the restaurants? The help is like, where is it? You know? Where's the guys with the experience? You know, I'm glad they have people in there trying to work and help out. But come on, you know, if you're home and they're giving you $1,000 a week or $700 a week, and you're only making $500, where would you be? On your couch with the clicker. That's what you'd be doing.
Yeah, and you know what? That sinks them in lower into the fear vibration
because
and
that
into
puts
this.
them into the need generation. Everything is needed. I'm going to tell you, you kids, you young kids out there going to college, starting college careers and everything else like that, if you think that your government or the local governments are going to give you something for free, you will pay for that.
One way or another.
You are going to pay for it. Because when you get out, you're going to be taxed to death. To pay taxes for people who don't even live in this country, came here illegally, and I'm not talking about my brothers from the southern border. I'm talking about flowing over the borders, okay, from other countries, other parts of the world, not even being checked, okay? They're sending the worst of the worst there too, mixed in there.
Well, that's how
is wrong with you
terrorists come
people?
into the country.
That's how they get
sneak
in here.
That's how they get in. That's why
Okay.
they're doing it. Don't you understand? You know, so I mean, think about this. I don't understand why they keep sending billions to other countries when there's veterans that have
When
fought
they
for this
hate us, those
company.
countries.
Well, I know, and we have veterans on the street and homeless women
That's
and
right.
children, and I don't understand how that can be. How come we don't take
I
care of
know.
them? We have
There was
seniors
a homeless veteran on.
choosing between
Yeah.
medicine and food.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and why is that? How can that be? And we're sending billions to other countries that are our
right.
enemies,
That's right.
in essence. Okay, I mean, does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, he just did that. He just released, I forget how many millions. And it was, next thing you know, there's 1,600 missiles that hit Israel. All right? He gave them the money to do it.
Go figure this, Tommy. I don't. You know, it doesn't make sense
And
to
the thing
me.
that gets me is for the senators and the congressmen that are the Jewish faith. How do you let that woman and them other women say these horrendous things? Want to see Israel wiped off the map? All right? Want to see them destroyed to the man, every woman and child. And then what? They
Well,
kill each other because they have nobody to fight with.
Well,
'Cause
that's
they can't get along
hatred.
either. Well, that's hatred. That is indoctrinated hatred.
Yes.
And where's the blind eye? Where's the outrage in this country from the community? Where is the outrage? Okay, where is it? If you're not outraged, you are complicit. All right? I hope that convicts each and every one of you. You're a disgrace. Disgrace. When I see them on TV trying to stand for another person who's part of their party, and say he's a good man, he's this, he's that, and all this stuff, and this is a guy who spent maybe close to $1 billion between the 2 impeachment trials that could have been given out to each and every one of you out there. Now they give you trinkets, they give you $1,400. Okay, well, that helps you a hell of a lot.
What did they give themselves, I wonder?
Yeah, well,
I
come on.
want, oh my, I mean, we're talking about
We're talking
the
about
world as a
not
whole.
conforming to this nonsense.
Right, and we're not going to conform to this, and we're also giving you tools, spiritual tools that you were not aware of.
Mm-hmm.
And I truly hope that you are going to do
Embrace
these
them.
things. Embrace them.
Embrace
take
them.
them to heart so that you can have eternal life and live in the light with God and the rest of the angels instead of going into chaos and fear and damnation, or perhaps even having your soul vaporized because anybody who has drank the blood of a child or sacrificed a child, the soul of theirs, they no longer have a soul. I saw Jesus vaporize them. And so, they don't even have a soul anymore, okay?
When you see these people, and they've been in Congress or they've been in the Senate for 50, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, they got to go. 2 terms. 2 terms. You want fresh ideas? 2 terms. You're going to get all the fresh ideas you want. You're going to stop creating millionaires out of these parasites. Because that's what they are, parasites. They all got to go. They all got to go. You got to... 2 years. Congress is 2 years. The Senate needs to be 2 years. That's it. That's it.
No
2
lifetime
years. No
politicians.
lifetime jobs.
No lifetime
No
politicians.
time. That's right. No lifetime jobs.
It becomes
Okay.
they-
Because you're paying them to make your life better, and your life is not better. It is not better. It's a disgrace. All right. It is not better. Everything that you need, you consume, has gone up 50%. And not a peep from the news media. Not a peep. Not a peep. They covered it. They carry more water for this guy than Gunga Din. Are you kidding me? And not a peep. And nobody, everybody sits there. Oh, what a wonderful guy. Who would do that? What's the matter with you? Wake up, man. You gotta start to realize you're being duped. You've been duped. You don't see the hypnosis that is in it. I see it. Okay? Every one of these shows, the commercials that come on in between are horrendous. From start to finish, they're trying to guide you towards some realization or accepting some group or whatever it is. They're trying to shove it down your throat using the media. Because if you see it enough times on TV, it's not for you, the adult, it's for your children. Okay, then this is normal. They grow up seeing that, so that's normal. Okay?
Remember, I am divine and sovereign. I am divine and sovereign, and I am free. I am divine and sovereign, and I am free. And we do not consent to any harm on any level, spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical, in any space or time. Okay? And then you want to shield yourself. You put up your shield, your 12th dimensional shield. You ask your angels to do this for you if you don't know how. Okay, and keep it for 10 days.
Even if you don't remember
Yeah.
the words that Sis is saying right now, even if you don't remember that, you can call in your angels, they'll do it for you. All right?
Yeah, you could say what
Just say,
Adolphina said.
I don't understand what it says, but can you please do what we were told to do? And they know who we are. Okay?
And so,
And believe me, the other side knows who we are.
oh, you better believe that. I mean, one night not too long ago, after we had a particularly releasing some of this information, when I'm on my way home and a beam of light comes down to try to hit my car, okay, like from a satellite, perhaps. And I guess I offended someone, ruffled some feathers, and thank God my angelic and galactic families prevented that.
Michael blocks everything.
Yeah.
He blocks everything. Michael, Uriel, Gabriel. Learn about your archangels. Learn about your angels. Okay, accept them into your life. God made them to be your helpers here and guide you through this path. Okay? Why wouldn't you take their guidance? You take the guidance on the weekends when you go do whatever you do. You take somebody else's guidance, it's not spiritual. Why would you do that? When you are God. Didn't I tell you you were God? Why don't you read your Bible and actually read it? And when you get to that part, why don't you underline it and show it to them? Because they certainly ain't going to agree to it. They're not.
Well, you know, I've read it 3 times, and I think every time you read it, you understand it in a different way. You know what I mean? It sinks in a different way.
It sinks in a different way because every time you read it, you were at a different level.
Right.
Now, you know, when I hear the verses and I hear some of the things, and I watch sometimes I'm changing channels and there'll be a minister on TV preaching and stuff like that, and he's doing something. He's helping some people at a certain level, okay, to start to awaken a little bit, that there's more to this world than just all the debauchery that you see going on around the world. And why is it that you always see, because negativity sells. They made us a society of hate and negativity, okay? Why? Because it keeps you glued to that stupid tube, okay? It's no longer the Andy Griffith Show or Ozzie and Harriet or Time Tunnel, all these Star Trek. It's no longer these pure shows without all this nonsense in between. Okay? It's everything is vampires killing, murder, monsters, zombies, right? Back from the dead, back from the grave, visiting the grave. I was in the grave, now I'm out. I mean, what the heck is wrong with you people? Don't you see how you're being, like that little mouse Algernon that runs through the maze, you're being directed by a piece of cheese. And who's holding that cheese? They are. Are you a little bit better than a mouse? Just a little bit? Wake up.
They gotta learn to think for themselves.
They're not thinking for themselves. They're letting the TV think for them.
And even now, like in school, instead of teaching them 2 and 2 equals 4, they got that stupid Common Core math crap. And
if you're close to the number, you're right. I mean, really.
Well, and
they can use calculators to take the SAT. When I took the SAT, the only thing they would allow you was a slide rule. Yeah, try to work with one of those.
Yeah, well, now they don't even teach the kids penmanship. Now, wait a minute. Supposing the grid goes down, they can't on their phone or on the computer. And how are they going to write a letter? Are they going to penmanship as a 5-year-old?
They're going to print it.
Yeah, as a 5-year-old.
Because printing is the accepted writing now. No more cursive.
Why?
Because they don't want to teach it. It puts too much stress on certain people.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Come on.
Well, anyway, please, we're running out of time here pretty soon. So I know we've shared an awful lot of information, but the key to it is, please remember, I am divine and sovereign, and I am free. I am divine and sovereign, and I am free. And I do not consent to any harm on a spiritual, mental, emotional, physical basis, and on all levels, in any space and time.
When you get up in the morning and you look in the mirror, you're going to go there, take a shower, whatever it is, shave, whatever it's going to be. Just say to yourself, I am God's magnificence in me. I am is the key words. It is proven that when you say the I am, something triggers in your brain, in your pineal gland. You have a direct connection to God. Okay, you are God, that's why. All right? I am is recognizing that God sends in you. Your imagination, if you could imagine it, it will come to fruition. Everything you see around us here in this studio was once only imagined. Okay? And now it exists. So why don't you create by using your imagination for good?
Yeah, create good things.
Create good.
Let's create the new world that we're evolving into with a new actually I've seen it. There's a new financial, economic forces. There's new government, new Declaration of Independence. Everything. There's building going on. There's healers. There's people overseeing healing the earth. You know, I mean, this is actually happening on another plane. Now, this might sound far out, but I can guarantee you we're going to get there. We're going to get there because it's already been ordained, and we've already won this situation. Okay?
All right. I'd like to thank everyone for watching tonight.
Yeah.
I hope you found some information that you can use. Try to do what we told you to do, and try to prove it. All right? You'll be surprised. Okay? I'd like to thank you all for coming and watching, and our studio audience that we used to have. Once we get back to Studio A, it'll be nice. And have a good night.
Remember to shield.
That's right. God bless you all.
God bless
because
you.
you're going to need every blessing. All right?
And so it is.
And so it is.
Bye.
Bye now.
See you next time.
Music, maestro.